Hey guys, it's Perry. Today we're doing a patch 15.24 tier list. Again, we're going to be focusing on the iron to diamond elos. These are my LP potions and what I recommend you climb before the season ends, guys. Make sure you stick around for all the LP potions and so you see what's actually not worth your time. Let's jump right into the tier list, guys. I'm going to give you all my knowledge as a 5-year challenger jungler. First off, we're going to start with the most broken champion right now by far, Diana. This champion dominates every single situation you could possibly think of. As long as you understand that there are two builds on this champion. You have the tank build, and then you have the damage build. Tank build, you want to go Proto Belt into Liandry's / Riftmaker, into Bloodletters, if they have MR / Zonya's, into Rabs / more AP. And I will highlight, stay away from Jack Show / weird items like that. Okay, and the damage build is going to be Nashers into Rabs into Zonya's. Now, what you can do is a mix. You could go Nashers into Rift into Zonya's. So you have many options. Now, when would you go these different options? Okay, also you want to take Red Pets with Proto Belt. This is one of the most broken build paths in the game for sure, because Proto Belt is such a cheap item and gives you literally more AP than Liandry's and Riftmaker, and it's cheaper than them. And then if you have the red pets plus Proto Belt plus Riftmaker, the red pet actually, if you hit a Q on them, it'll proc your Riftmaker because it keeps you in combat. So the Proto Belt into Riftmaker combo is really strong. Their Proto Belt Liandry's Riftmaker combo is also just as strong. So all three of these items combined make a really powerful Diana. So when do you want to do this tank build? You do this tank build when you're against bruisers, and then damage versus squishies, and then mix versus like hybrid enemies. What makes Diana broken isn't her kit inherently. What makes Diana broken is her options to go different builds. Okay? I need you guys to understand that Diana is not just the easiest LP potion ever. None of these will be, but once you get a gist of things, takes you 5, maybe 10 games plus, you'll be able to stomp games all around, okay? I'll make this real quick, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you enjoyed the video. The next champion we have here on the list, I always will mention this champion no matter what. If you are iron, bronze, silver, gold, and you want to rank up and you want a hack, you play Amumu. Okay, this champion is the most broken Giga champion in the game. By your Sunfire, it's been buffed time and time again. Liandry's is still in a great spot. You can go for a more defensive Abyssal Mask or Liandry or Bloodletters even, or Zonya's. You have many options. This champion is a team fight god. You fight with your ultimate. You don't fight without ultimate. This champion will always be one of my LP potions. The next champion we have here is going to be Briar. Now, I recently did a Briar collab with Logan Jungle. I highly recommend you watch this video so you understand why Briar is so broken. Ultimately, Briar is probably the bread and butter for low elo. If you guys want a champion that's fun, you can fight with, you need to learn a lot of things, so you don't, it's not like basic, not like a Mumu basic. You gotta learn a lot of things. You want to play Briar. This champion, I used to be, I don't like it, to now, wow, I love this champion. Stats are amazing. You have so many intricacies that people don't understand in lower ranks. Legit, if you learn the details to Briar by watching my video, you by default will probably outclimb everyone else around you because they don't know what Briar does. So you're literally just gonna have a mental edge on everyone because they don't actually understand Briar as a champion ultimately. All right, our next champion here is going to be Jax. This champion is a menace on the Rift right now. Jax just counters so much shit that people want to play. Again, we've shifted into this bruiser full clear. Even laners are playing bruisers. It's like everyone is bruiser champions, melee champions, auto champions. So Jax thrives, and he's been buffed so many times. All these champions right now are just good at fighting, decent clear speeds, and overall just have a lot of impact on the map in the skirmishes and fights. Now, an honorable mention that would have been an LP potion if he didn't get nerfed would be Dr. Mundo, especially for those low elo games. He's very, very powerful, but I wouldn't say he's as broken anymore because he actually got nerfed. So as you guys can see in the nerf list here, Dr. Mundo just lost 50 straight up damage on his cleaver, which is going to drastically slow down what he excelled at, which was clearing really quickly. Now, he's still going to be really strong and really worth playing to climb with, but he's not going to be at the same level as an LP potion. Those are my 5 champions that are like, play now, you want free LP, you want to climb before the season ends, before everything changes. Alright guys, now we're going to jump into the easy to climb with champions. I want you guys to play these champions if you want something pretty straightforward and you want something that's not in the top ranked champions right now. So I'm going to start with Nocturne. I think this champion's always giga broken, will always be here. Ultimate is busted. You can also go 2 builds on this champion. You have Assassin build and you have a Bruiser build. Assassin build is Profane Hydra plus Axiom Arc, then Bruiser. Bruiser build is the Stridebreaker Experimental Exploit. Next champion we have here is Trundle, King Kong of the Trolls. This guy is the Troll King. Always really powerful. Again, Bruiser meta, and he's great right now in the Bruiser meta overall. Beautifully strong champion. Love this guy so much. Next champion I'm going to add here is a little special one. I think this champion's easy to climb with as long as you learn the intricacies. It takes a little more time to invest, but Gwen is really broken. There's a lot of good content creators that play Gwen as well, so which is why it's also an easy champ to climb with. Picture Trundle or Nocturne, for example. You don't really know who you're basing how to get better off of, but with Gwen at least, you have some people out there that can help show you how to get better on this champion. Following that, we have Hecarim as well. There's a few Hecarim players out there that follow the same thing. This champion, really good at full clearing, both Gwen and Hecarim. Very, very, very powerful overall, good fighting, and a good scaling into the mid and late game. Next champion we have here is Lillia. This champion is really good against the melee champs that exist in the meta right now. You outpace them, you're faster than them, and you're really valuable in these team fights. She got a buff a while back that was kind of not noticed. She does a lot more damage now than you would think, and all the AP items are in a really good state right now too, so Lillia is very, very, very powerful. Our next champion is an honorable mention. It's Shyvana. I love this champion personally because she just has that solo carry potential as long as you understand how to properly play her. Guys, Shyvana, if you go the AP build, is a ranged champion. You use your ulti and your E to poke people. Poke, 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 poke. Full clear, farm efficiently, and poke the shit out of them. Alright guys, our next champion is going to be Warwick. This is just a stat checking champion. He'll always be at least a S tier. One way or another, you'll see him up here. Because again, we're targeting low elo, and in low elo, this champion gives you everything you want. The hard thing about Warwick is closing out games in those team fights. Look for picks on this champion. The next guy that we have here on this list is going to be Nunuuuu. Now, Nunuuuu is a little bit weirder to play overall, but if you play the style correctly and you learn the style, Nunuuuu will skyrocket you in LP. It just doesn't really stay aligned with any other champion style in the game. It's the same thing with Ivern. They follow the exact same flow where it's like they're not really easy to play in the sense that jungle fundamentals aren't applied. They're very different champions overall, but you will climb very fast once you learn the depths of the champion. Now, our next champion that should be easy to climb with would be Master Yi, but Master Yi is actually getting nerfed really, really, really hard. He is going from 655 base HP to 640 base HP, and his 80 growth is going from 2.8 to 2.5. So his scaling and early game is getting hit really hard. I feel really bad for Scenarios. He's in Korea grinding for rank 1. I think he got the top 10, and his champion is getting nerfed. Man, shout out to Scenarios. I hope he can still push as hard as he can, but it's really difficult when your main champion gets nerfed like this. Mad respect to him for sticking it out, though. Alright, so if you don't see your champion in the top 2 areas, it's not because the champions are necessarily bad, but it's more about these champions are just going to be harder than everything else. All of the champions I put in LP Potion Easy Climb with are very straightforward champions. You can pretty much have the stupidest ideas about the game and still find success and results. I always care about results, guys. I'm results driven. I want to teach you guys and show you guys what works, not what's fun. Now let's jump into champions that are a little bit harder, but you can still play them because they're overall good champions in the meta. So, Bel'Veth, Elise, Evelynn, Fiddlesticks, Jarvan, Graves just too hard. Kane, Kha'Zix recently got nerfed. Can still play him. Kindred, Morgana, kinda like you can't really. I wouldn't even put that champion. I wouldn't bother. Rek'Sai, yeah, it's like okay. Sejuani recently got a buff, so I'll actually be willing to put Sejuani on there. The buff is substantial. It's pretty nice. It's more of a lane Sejuani, but because your ultimate goes down by a good amount and your AP ratios get increased, low key you can go rocket belt first item on this champion and kind of one shot people. There's some playability with Sejuani. If I've been saying Sejuani, hopefully I have. Next champions we have here will be like Udyr, Viego, Volibear, Xin Zhao, Zac, Wukong. I don't see any of these champions being too easy. And then the list goes down. Starts getting hard. I'm gonna toss in Aatrox as my sneaky addition to the list. I don't recommend him. He's a little bit harder, but he's a sneaky addition to the list for funsies. Alright guys, so these are the champions that are like somewhat worth playing, but they get more difficult and the ratios just aren't at where they could be. For example, Volibear used to be my S tier LP potion. They just nerfed him over and over and over again to where he's just like not in the same place that he used to be in. And a lot of these other champions, they're just like not amazing relative to everything else, but you can still play them and you can still find hella results with those champions. Alright guys, we're gonna do something flashy. We're gonna move all of these champions all the way to the not worth your time. Alright guys, these are all the champions in the not worth your time section. These champions are either just too hard to master, too hard to utilize, or they're just not strong enough. Like their base stats aren't good enough, or they require too much. For example, Qiyana, Talon, Karthus, Lee Sin, Nidalee, they deal a lot of damage. Rengar, Jace, Riven, Ambessa, Sylas, but the execution necessary for these champions requires way too much for you. For example, a champion like Elise, you have a lot more point and clicks, not many skill shots, and on top of that, the flow throughout the entire game is pretty easy to learn. There's still a reason why the champions in it's getting harder, and there's also a reason why I don't really recommend people to play in this start getting harder or not worth their time tier, but I at least want to show the difference in the rankings here. Everything else on the list is just like too hard, not worth it, gets out-tempoed, gets outpaced, and that's why they're in the not worth your time section. I always make this disclaimer. No matter what I say, no matter what you believe, no matter what you want to call this, a rage bait tier list, this is this or whatever, play the champion you love, play the champion you enjoy. I've gotten many people results from the champs I recommend. This is what I do as a full-time job, so I'm not bullshitting you when I tell you where I'm placing champions and what I'm doing with these things. But what I will say is no matter what I tell you, enjoy League of Legends, play what you want to play. If you value climbing, maybe reconsider, but otherwise, enjoy the game. Alright guys, a lot of you aren't actually subscribed, so make sure to double check if you're subscribed. Would do me a huge favor. And hope you enjoyed the tier list. If you did, leave a like, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.